Hello and welcome to episode 1029 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, August 18th, 2026. I'm your host, Chris Johnston. With me as always, Canada, Mr. Craig Stewart. Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Pretty good. Welcome back, CJ.
It's good to be back, Gregory. But I gotta say, I really loved listening to last week's podcast. I thought it was really great. I thought Carly Veloci was a great guest, very inspired. Bit of a guest call there. And I Scoop Jessica is probably the rallying cry for Carly. But I was the person who introduced Scoop Jessica to jiggle physics. So really,
weird that you weren't the one who decided to bring Carly on the show then.
Well,
what the hell have you been doing for the last?
That's a good point. I should have thought of that earlier. But you got a great guest, and it was a great show. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I was really happy with it. I mean, Carly was super interesting, fun to talk to. So we should have her. We should have her back.
Definitely,
it's like a third chair once in a while, not just as a
that could be fun.
Not
that
just when really one of the old men are away.
Exactly. Yeah. So I listened to the show. It was very good. Thank you for answering all of my questions that I sent in.
You're well. Thanks for sending them.
That was really fun. Like when I realized there weren't very many questions, and I was like, oh, I'll just brain dump a bunch of questions into the thread. And then you ended up using most of them.
Yeah.
So that was good. Yeah.
That was great.
Fun times.
Really enjoyed it.
I was in Chicago last week.
Yeah. How's Chicago?
Chicago's good. Every year I go and visit my dad in Chicago. And we go up to Michigan because my dad's mom, my grandmother, used to live up there by the beach, just across the Michigan-Indiana border.
The lake? Up on the lake?
Yeah, right by the lake. And so it's very nostalgic for me. And then my dad, his family had that cabin basically for many years before then. And so he is very nostalgic for it too. So yeah, we go up there every August or so. And yeah, it's just really fun. And Charlie, my daughter Charlie, went with me.
I was going to say, is your daughter with you this time?
Yeah, I have my daughter with me this time, which is good. She was a good sport about a lot of things, which was great.
Good sport about hanging out with two old men?
Pretty much, yeah. But I did let her stay at the Airbnb for a couple meals when she didn't really feel like going out.
Oh, right on.
So,
cool.
Yeah. I had old people alert.
You're in the right place.
My dad is 89 years old.
God damn.
And he's still fine. He's still moving without a walker, still drives, all that stuff, which is great.
Wow.
I'm happy about that. But so one of the mornings at the Airbnb, he is going to take a shower, goes into the bathroom, and then comes out again completely naked. I was like, dude. Well, the first time he did it, I was like, well, that's bad. Maybe he's just getting a towel and going back in the bathroom. And then he came out again. I was like, all right, first of all, no one needs to see that. But also all of that.
Cover that up.
Cover it up. But then my daughter is sleeping in the next room. She may be awake already. No, that is not cool. Put a towel on. Not good. I get that when you're old and you don't really have any more cares about that. And my dad lives alone, so he probably doesn't even think about it anymore. And
well, I mean, I'll say too that the men of that generation, I think way more comfortable being naked around people.
I mean, the Virtua Tennis ad that was in EGM.
Right. And the thing is, so for anyone who doesn't know, there was a Virtua Tennis ad that there was a lot of hate, and it wasn't just EGM that got it. It was just a locker room full of naked dudes, naked middle-aged men.
Yeah. There were a lot of butts.
A lot of butts.
It was only butt nudity.
Ran for 1 month. But no, what I was saying is actually because there's a lot of truth in that ad. Because you go to the gym.
Yeah.
And I mean, even like in my like 20s going to the gym.
Yeah.
And it's a running joke. Like dudes of that the boomer generation, they are absolutely comfortable just letting it all hang out around
people out multiple people with that. Yeah.
Yep. Like I used to go when I was first actually it was right after my son was born. We were living with my in-laws. We were living at their place for a year. And my father-in-law used to go to the gym every morning. And I was freelancing at the time. So he was like, why don't you come with me? Like, yeah, great. It was like I was in the best shape of my life. But he was the same way. Just like walking to the locker room and just the clothes are off, man. And you're just doing your thing. Like, what's happening?
I guess so.
Yeah. So
have some shame. But anyway, it was a good trip.
Good.
Yeah.
Glad.
It was a good trip. It was nice and warm. I went and played mini golf with my daughter for the very first time. We'd never gone mini golfing. So we did that. That was a lot of fun. We're going to try to find a place near Seattle or like near where we live to go mini golfing, because this mini golf, it was a very low effort mini golf course. Like when you think mini golf, you think of like,
was it one of those like roadside attraction type places?
Yeah, it was a roadside attraction.
Those are really suffering, apparently. Like in general, those are really suffering.
It was a roadside attraction place that had an arcade. They had bumper boats. They had bumper cars. They had a go-kart track, and they had mini golf.
Love it.
Yeah. And I asked my daughter if she wanted to do any of those other things, and she said no. It's like we could have done bumper cars or
go-karts, man.
Go-karts, exactly.
Go-karts are the best. That was the best part about any of those visits ever.
Exactly. But she didn't want to, so I was like, all right, I'll go mini golfing. This was a very low effort one. It was so normally you think of like, you're going to hit the ball into like a windmill or something, and it'll catch it and all of this stuff, or like the Dracula mouth that opens or whatever you have to do. There were no such things. It was just basically the green and you hit the ball in the hole. There were no fun hazards except for a jump over a little like river, not even like a river. It was like a gutter almost.
Trickle.
It was like a gutter that just had rocks in it.
I think that, and the reason I'm bringing it up is because I actually had a story cross my feed somewhere in the past couple of weeks talking about this, where just the roadside attractions are like they're sort of on their last legs. I think our generation is the one that kind of was the last generation where they were like a thing. Because my God, we went to so many places like that when I was a kid. Like anytime, because when we vacationed, we never flew anywhere. We drove.
Exactly.
So like got 2 kids with you. There's mini golf. There's go-karts. Let's stop and do that for a couple hours. And
definitely
is the best. But yeah,
the place was called Captain Mike's mini golf.
Good old Captain Mike's.
Yeah.
The last time I took it's been a little while since I took my kids karting, but the first time I should say that I took them karting, that my son was old enough to go in the kart himself. So he was like 11 or something like that, or 12. It was at a place here in Nova Scotia called Atlantic Splash, which used to be called Atlantic Playland, but they turned it into a water park. But it's built on the remains of a place that was called Atlantic Speedway, which was a racetrack.
And it was actually the remains of an Indian burial ground.
I mean, maybe. Who knows? But no, so the go-kart track is actually built on what remains of the old racetrack. And that's the place my dad used to race. When I was a baby, he raced at Atlantic Speedway. All the pictures we have of him racing are from Atlantic Speedway. So like I remember getting into the karts and telling my son, like, it was after my dad had passed, but my son and my father were really close. And I was like, this is where Grampy used to race cars. And he just thought that was the coolest thing in the world. He was awesome. So impressed that he was driving out on the same track that Grampy drove on like 40 years ago, 50 years ago. It's pretty neat.
Great.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a lot of nostalgia for going up to Michigan. And now it's like a little more touristy than it was when I was growing up. And we used to stay at this really seedy hotel that was called the Lazy V Hotel.
Was it like one of those motels, or is it actually a hotel?
No, it was a motel, like a motel.
Yeah.
Like
Stayed
you
a lot of
drive
those.
the car up in front of the room.
Yep.
The door's right there. It's only one floor. And now it's called the Warren Inn now. Very fancy. And they've like given it a paint job and all this stuff. It's just like, what are you doing? Who are you trying to fool? This place is like a seedy motel.
They gave it a paint job, but the sheets are the same sheets that were there when you were a kid. And the mattresses.
Do they still have the vibrating bed? That's what I want to know. Because they had the vibrating beds. And it was awesome.
Yeah. It's like another amusement park.
Yeah, exactly. I asked my mom for 25 cents so I could,
oh my God,
the bed vibrate. Wasn't really that fun when you're like 5 years old. But, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think that's where, so I have a traumatic memory from back in the early 80s. Like,
didn't you just describe one?
Well, I did. Yes. I did describe one earlier. I think we were staying in that hotel, and it was like late at night, and we're watching the news or whatever. And after the late local news, they had a trailer for the movie Cat's Eye. Do you know what the movie
I remember
Cat's
Eye? Yes. It's like a horror, like a short story horror film, right?
Yeah, it's like an anthology.
Yeah. I remember watching that.
But so the commercial came up for it, and it scared the living shit out of me.
I imagine.
It scared me so much. And that's a core memory. I still, to this day, like have that with me, even though I've seen the movie since, and it's a cheesy movie.
Yeah. I think I'm trying to think too, talking about like seedy motels that we stayed in when we were kids.
I have another story about that, but go ahead.
One year, my dad took us to go see a Montreal Canadiens game up in Montreal. I remember, I don't know how old I was. My brother and I were both teenagers at the time, and he let my brother bring a friend, a buddy of his as well. And so we got to this motel just on the inside of the Quebec border, and he got adjoining rooms, right? So my dad and I stayed in one room. My brother and his friend stayed in the other room, and they were probably like 14, 15 maybe. And turned on the TV, and there were two channels. One was CBC, and one was porn. And so I was like so bummed that I had to share the room with my dad because I knew what my brother and his friend were watching all night long.
Wow. Well, and of course the road trip back in those days, you didn't have like advanced hotel reservations. You drove until you saw something that said vacancy. You saw vacancy, and then you drove in. And old hotels back then had SpectraVision.
That's not what it was called here, but yeah, that's what you had.
And you could watch a 5-minute preview, and then it would build to the room immediately. So I had my watch out.
Jesus Christ.
No, we never actually did it, but we thought like it would be funny to like turn it to the preview and then quick, turn it back.
That's great.
Otherwise it'll be built to the room. Oh, my other story is, so again, this kind of like family trip, like find a hotel that says vacancy. We go up to the front desk and they're like, okay, yes, we have a room, but you have to leave at like 6 a.m. They were like, well, my parents were like, why? Like, oh, because we have a movie crew coming in to film. And this was like rural Wisconsin. Like this was like nothing. And we got back in the car and went to a different hotel. But my parents were like,
what kind of movie were they filming there? Yeah.
An adult movie.
Yeah. It was probably on SpectraVision at the hotel you stopped at.
That's probably right. Oh, good times.
So good trip with your daughter then.
It was a good trip with my daughter. Oh, then the other thing I posted on Blue Sky about this. On the return trip home, there was a youth in the aisle in front of us that had purchased a Lego set in the airport.
Yes.
And it was an F1 car, like Lego set.
So your best friend Mike was telling me about this last night.
Small, like not really that big or whatever. And so we take off, and this kid opens it up. I'm like, this is like the worst idea ever. You're going to construct a Lego set on the tray table of the plane as we fly. Like, even if there's no turbulence, this is a bad idea.
Something's going to roll onto the floor, and there's no room in those things.
There is no effing room. Exactly. And so he was building this thing. Occasionally he would stop and look at TikTok for a little while, but I could not get over how bad an idea this was. And of course, like about halfway through the flight, I see the cell phone flashlight come out, and he's like looking at the floor. And my daughter like looks over, and we both give each other this look like, what the fuck is this kid doing? And he was like an older teenager. He was older than my daughter. And my daughter already was like, this was a bad idea. Like,
God.
But he spent about 15 minutes with his cell phone flashlight looking around the floor. It's like, even if you dropped a piece on the floor, it's gone now.
Yeah.
It is absolutely gone. You are not finding that.
Brutal.
And his parents, who were sitting next to him, let him do this. Bad parenting, I think.
I hope you told him that.
I didn't.
Very publicly just called them over. Was like, come here for a second. I got to talk to you about something.
I'm going to publicly shame you.
Horrible parents.
Yeah. Do you see what your son just did? This is not how you do things.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I hope they're listeners.
I doubt it.
They're sitting there right now going, is he talking about me?
Yes. Well, if you have a child that buys a Lego set in the airport, don't allow them to construct it on the plane. That's just a bad idea.
I've never understood why. I get duty free if you're crossing a border.
Yes.
But I mean, you don't carry that onto the plane with you generally, I don't think. It gets delivered to you at the other end of the flight.
No.
Right?
No.
Really? See, I don't have a lot of experience with that. But
you carry it with you unless you order it on the plane.
Okay, maybe that's it. But I've never understood buying a big item in an airport when you're about to get on a plane. Like, that's never made any sense to me.
And to be clear,
this was small to begin with.
This was not a huge Lego set. This was
I know, but I mean, honestly, anything.
Yeah,
like
anything. You're right.
You know,
well, people buy like wine and stuff.
Yeah,
I've never understood that. It's like, why? Why would you do that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Damn, I had another thing that I was going to say. Oh, the other thing with this kid, he loaded up ChatGPT, and my fingers were crossed. I was hoping that he was going to type in like, how do you find small Lego pieces that have fallen on the floor during a flight? Like I was praying, but he was just asking about some fitness thing. So
what a
lame. Lame. I want to hear about your training regimen. I want you to ask ChatGPT about your damn Legos. Anyway. So let's talk about some video games. Why don't we?
The kid just needs to learn how to read a book. That's a safe thing to do on a flight.
That or the in-flight entertainment. They've got movies.
But see, like, actually, our flight to and from England a few weeks ago didn't have screens. It was all on your phone.
Screens? Are you serious?
But it's WestJet, but now like the Wi-Fi is in-flight Wi-Fi is actually what's the word I'm looking for? You don't pay for it anymore. Not the word.
Complimentary.
Free. Complimentary. That's the word I was looking for. In-flight Wi-Fi is complimentary, and the entertainment system is on the Wi-Fi. Like it's on their network.
Oh, okay.
So you use your phone or your tablet for all of it.
That's cool, I guess.
When they first were talking about it, it's like in-flight Wi-Fi is complimentary with a WestJet VIP membership. And I returned to my friend Jim that I was traveling with on the way there. And it's like, well, okay. And then the guy in front of us was like, well, that's free. Like the VIP membership, they make it sound like it's important, but that's literally the free membership. So,
right.
It's like, oh, okay, great.
That's like at some hotels, they're like, you must be a member to get the free Wi-Fi, and the account is free.
But two transatlantic flights, no screens.
That's wild.
The seats, it was surprising.
But they did have Wi-Fi, so you could.
But they did have Wi-Fi, and it was pretty good. It worked pretty well, I have to say. Like, I was a little bit surprised.
Well, that's good. Should we talk about video games?
I mean, we're here. We just talked about, seedy motel porn for 20 minutes. So viewing it,
what's wrong with that?
Potentially being in the videos if we stayed for the night.
This is the family that had to leave at 6 a.m.
If you look closely in the window, you can see CJ's parents' car driving away. Or CJ trying to get in.
Don't forget me.
You can see CJ's little head in the back window going like this, trying to see.
Exactly. Anyway, some Zelda movie news here. Sam Neill, the late Sam Neill, he passed away a few weeks ago, which was very unfortunate. His last film role is as part of the Legend of Zelda movie. We don't know what role he is playing. It's not Ganondorf. We know that.
Right.
Much. But yeah. So a little bit of casting news here. We know Sam Neill and some other people whose names I can't pronounce. Here, but I'll highlight them.
So he's going to join Raul Julia as a famous actor whose final role was in a video game movie.
That's sad.
Hopefully it's better than Street Fighter was. But
I hope it's good. This is even more hope that it's good, right?
Yeah. Beloved actor Sam Neill.
Right.
That's cool. When is that movie coming out?
Next spring.
Oh, it's that far away, eh? Okay.
Well, that's kind of close, actually, considering we've seen absolutely nothing of it but like 2 still photos from the set. We don't have a teaser. We don't have a trailer. None of that
Speaking of that, I watched the Super Mario Galaxy movie.
Oh, what'd you think? What'd you think? It
was okay.
Yeah.
It had its moments.
Moments.
I think I liked the first movie more.
I think both of them kind of get put in the category of 90-minute amusement park ride where, this one just felt
kind of a little bit more disjointed than the last one. But
yeah, I agree with that.
It had its moments. Like it had some good gags in it.
True.
But yeah, overall, it was like, I'm glad I watched it. There was a star in the first film that you remember, the one I'm talking about. She was a prisoner the whole time. Mm-hmm. That Luigi, the prisoner alongside Luigi, and every time she spoke, it was just something really like disturbing, like really dark, and that was my oldest
kid voice, wasn't it?
Right, exactly. Which made it more disturbing. That was my oldest favorite character. Uh-huh. She loved that. She loved that star that was just like would giggle about death and things like that. Which is a little disturbing. But anyway, I didn't watch this with her, but the post-credit scene, one of the post-credit scenes in the movie, I guess spoiler, when Bowser and Bowser Jr. are in jail trying to escape, and the guards coming along clattering their nightstick against it's that star. Yeah. And she's, again, very disturbing. Anyway, I had to like record the scene and send the video to my daughter because it's like, I don't know if you'd even like this movie, but I know you'll love this part. And she's like, yep, that's my favorite thing ever. So.
All right, lock Greg up for piracy. He's recorded.
Just for that, though.
Post-credit scene. Yeah, just for that. So yeah, maybe we'll hear about the Zelda movie at some point. Who knows? Speaking of Zelda, we got images of a 40th anniversary Legend of Zelda Switch 2 and Pro controller. Have you seen these? Did you see these?
I looked at them when you linked them.
Yeah. So there's almost no chance these are not real. Just because of the composition of the shot. It seems like somebody who either works for or had access to the
packaging
place where they produce the packaging for this stuff took photos of it. And here's the Zelda 40th anniversary Switch 2, which I think looks kind of cool.
Yeah. I find their Zelda themed controllers and systems and stuff have always looked really nice.
God, I wanted the Tears of the Kingdom one so bad.
Yeah. They're pretty good about those designs.
It sold out immediately, and I never got the Pro controller.
Doesn't hurt that Zelda's always had like every game, even when they change up the look, they've always just nailed it. Like the games always look good, right?
Yeah, and notice that this does not talk about Ocarina of Time at all. This is 40th anniversary Zelda. And then the Pro Controller right here, also looking very good. I'm going to try to get one of these, but I don't know what my chances are for getting one of these.
So. I like the base of the second analog stick is gold.
Gold. To go along with is this one green? It kind of,
It kind of looks like it's that, but I can't tell if it's just the lighting. Here. Actually, you know what? It does look green.
It does look green.
I mean, the right nipple there of the controller is green as well. So,
are they really called
nubbin? I don't know what they're called.
Nipples? Is that what
they are now?
Nubbin, the nub. Anyway, so these look pretty testicle. Good. Yeah. Excuse me.
What?
This looks good. I imagine now that these have leaked, whatever plans Nintendo has for a Direct featuring Zelda, pretty much ruined. It's like they can't catch a break. They cannot catch a break. The rumor mill spoiling timing on Nintendo Directs. Maybe they'll just reveal Ocarina of Time through a Nintendo Today post. That'd be interesting. You know, the end of the year is not that far away at this point.
I know.
Ocarina of Time is supposed to be out before the end of the year.
We're barreling into September here, and that's when the game apocalypse begins.
It absolutely
is
about to begin.
Yep. Lots of games coming out.
Indeed. Speaking of lots of games, well, this is an old game, I guess. Ghost of Yotei Complete Edition coming to PS5 on October 1st. Yes, it's a year old. So there is going to be a new narrative expansion, a new combat survival mode, much more. I think the combat survival mode is a little bit of a roguelike, if I recall correctly as well. And there's going to be some things included free as well, so you don't need to buy the complete edition upgrade. I'm not sure how much that upgrade is, in fact.
So what's come out so far is not narrative, right?
What's that?
The stuff that they already released, because they did release an update for this already.
Yeah, they released a narrative.
Yeah, it was
the Legends
update. But this is a new narrative section coming out?
Yes, that's correct.
I'm going to have to get this.
Echoes of Sekigahara is the new narrative expansion. So,
and when is this happening?
October 1st.
Oh my God. Okay.
Game apocalypse. And then Most Wanted is a single player combat survival mode.
Yeah,
I believe, since it's run based, is sort of a roguelike mode.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But I mean,
full game
narrative stuff.
Legends mode is already out. I guess if you pre-order by 9:30, you get the Sakai armor.
It's already 10:04 here.
Well, that means you still have time. So you can get the complete edition for $70, or if you buy the upgrade, it's $15. So there you go.
I will be getting the upgrade.
I probably will too, only to go back to Ghost of Yotei.
God, I love that game.
This is a good excuse for me to go back to that game, because I really loved Ghost of Tsushima. Mm-hmm. And actually, I went back to Tsushima after the content expansion for that came out. So this seems about right.
Good times. Exciting.
Yeah, exciting.
I'm going to forget this exists. I need to put this on that app that you told me about.
Sequel?
Yes, Sequel. I started using it. I don't check it very often, but I do have a list built in there.
Oh, okay, good.
So,
yes, indeed. Well,
that was it. That was all the news, eh?
That was it for the news. I mean, there's a lot of depressing news. What do you want to hear about?
Let's not talk about that.
The depressing news. What do you think about that Netflix doing the GTA reveal? Is that this week or next week? Something like that.
That is next week.
It's pretty wild.
We talked about that a bit on the show last week.
You did, yeah.
It is pretty wild. But I mean, I think more than anything, it just points to how big and unique Grand Theft Auto is compared to everything else in the game industry.
Yeah.
I don't think that it necessarily
Rockstar to be able to do this.
Yep, absolutely, I do.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think it points to video games getting ready to take the next step in their sort of like evolution of cultural ubiquity or anything like that.
It means big budget games like Grand Theft Auto are ready to take the next step.
Exactly. So
that's completely in a category all its own.
Yeah.
So
that game is going to upend the industry so much.
It already has.
Yeah.
It already has. Yeah.
Interesting to watch. I don't know if it'll be pleasant, but it'll be interesting to watch.
Well, we'll find out. Yeah. It's time for what you've been playing.
Okay.
All right. I guess I'll start. So I finished Splatoon Raiders, beat the final boss. There's post-game stuff to do in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And you best believe that I did some post-game stuff while I was out on vacation. It has you do these like 3 challenges, and you have to do them with each type of tank, power, like ink tank. Mm-hmm. And those are sort of like, one is power, then there's tactical, and then there's speed. So it's basically like character classes, but in the Splatoon world, it's ink tanks. And so you have to do all 3 of these challenges with all 3 of the tanks. And they say that they hint that if you do that, something's going to happen. So, I didn't have all of the tanks or classes like leveled up, which was bad for me because they expect you to be like really powered up at this point in the game. So it was pretty challenging to try to finish these levels, but I did it. And then I unlocked the bottomless buffet. And this is basically an endless mode where it like continually ups the difficulty and puts more and more enemies in front of you until you can't stand it no more. You can't stand it no more. And so I've done a little bit of that, but I've only gotten like 15 levels into that. Whereas I see people on Reddit who are like, I'm at floor 200. Just like, and I saw a YouTube video of somebody who did floor 990. It's like, oh my God. But there is a secret boss at level 100 or so in the bottomless buffet. So I'm not sure if I'll end up doing that. I probably will, though, because
you will.
I really like this game.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you really like the game.
There's nothing wrong with that.
A good reason to do it.
In the meantime, I am hopping on, and you can answer calls for help that people put out,
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been just doing that, just like helping people finish stages in Splatoon Raiders, which I love. It's great. You get some rewards for it, so it's pretty awesome. I also started playing Xenoblade Chronicles, the first one.
Really? Why?
Yeah, on the Switch, because Nintendo released the Nintendo Switch 2 edition, so now it's in 60 frames a second, 4K.
And I didn't mean that to sound like, why would you play that? Like, it's a good game, but I'm just curious why you decided to pick it back up again. And now I know.
Well, I never bought I bought Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii, and then again on the 3DS, and barely played it. So I was like, I'll buy it again on the Switch and barely play it as well. No, I've already played further into it than I did on either of those 2 platforms.
Okay.
And I'm really quite enjoying it so far. Yeah, I mean, I'm just at the beginning of the game, really. I'm about 4 hours in. Shulk has taken up the Monado now, the legendary sword that can defeat the Macan invaders and all of that. I didn't really expect a character to, spoiler alert, to die so early on in the game.
Spoiler alert.
A spoiler alert for a game that came out in like 2012.
Yeah.
On the Wii. Yeah, but I'm really enjoying it so far. I mean, I really liked Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which also got a Nintendo Switch 2 upgrade. But when I loaded that up, I didn't remember what the fuck I was doing in that game. And it's one of those games that only allows one save per Switch profile.
Okay.
Which Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom both used to do that until the Nintendo Switch 2 upgrade. And then you can have multiple now. but there's no multiple in Xenoblade Chronicles. So it's like I either have to create a new profile to like go through the tutorial bits of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 so I kind of know what I'm doing, or I just have to watch a walkthrough video and try to suss out what I was doing. Because I was pretty close to the end. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I put like 80 hours into that game. Like
I don't know how you do that and then just stop playing. Unless you like don't like it.
No, I like it. But I don't know. Something else came out, new shiny thing, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know the drill.
Yeah, I hear you.
Then I played Big Walk. You didn't talk about Big Walk last week. No. Big Walk by House, the makers of the Untitled Goose game. Mm-hmm. This is their second title, and it's free on PlayStation Plus.
The Big Walk is free on PlayStation
Big
Plus?
Walk is free. Yeah. So I downloaded it because our good friend Mike had already played it with his Helldivers 2 crew. But he's always up for a cooperative game. And I actually did really want to play Big Walk, so we played some Big Walk together.
All right, so tell me what it is.
It is. It's not Friend Slop.
Sure,
maybe Friend Slop adjacent is what I would call it. The characters look like. Well, hold on. Let me bring up a video now that you are making me do this. It's a multiplayer game that. Friend Slop adjacent.
Okay. You're really killing time here.
I know. Do you like that?
Mm.
Okay.
Right. It's got like the little duck-looking characters.
It's little duck-looking characters, and you have to solve little puzzles around the environment. And I guess it's based on some national parks in Australia.
Neat.
The environment is anyway, and not the puzzles themselves.
That's cool.
There's some. And it doesn't, once you walk out of the tutorial area, it doesn't it doesn't hold your hand at all. It's basically just walking around with your friends, trying to see, oh, this looks like a puzzle over here, and then going over to that place. Or like, shoot, it's getting dark out. We should like hold up these big lights and as we walk around the environment. And
looks like that big light is shaped like a buoy.
It does look that way, doesn't it? Yeah.
Looks like that's exactly what it is.
I think pretty much. Although they don't really float because I kicked mine into the water and it didn't float.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's, just a fun little, walk around, have a fun time with your friends kind of game, solve some puzzles, collect some little knobby things and put them in their station at each of these big towers in the environment. And
okay.
It's really fun so far, man. I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's up to 12 players, so it's a truly big multiplayer game.
Are the puzzles? Are there any? Have you come across any puzzles that require that many people? Or
so it scales depending on how many players you have.
Okay.
So we're playing the 2-player game, sense. So it none of the puzzles have been things that couldn't be done by 2 people. So
okay,
but if you have more than that, then it really requires you to split up and do things like that. And all of the chat is proximity based, so you have to stay with your friends. Okay. Otherwise, you could totally get lost and have to shoot a flare or light up a laser or something to try to signal them down.
A friend of mine was saying how he was really looking forward to this because he played through Untitled Goose Game with his girlfriend as couch co-op, and they really had a good time.
Oh,
so he was kind of assuming that this was going to be the same thing.
Yeah.
Because, and unfortunately, where it's not, and for obvious reasons, I mean, it's got, because of what you just said with the with the communication set up the way it is.
Well, yeah, and some of the puzzles
only online
require you not to be able to talk to your partner.
So he's kind of bummed because they're not interested in playing together online. They want to play couch co-op, so they're not gonna play it.
Well, they want to be big cheats in this game. Is that what
I think it's more because she doesn't have a Switch 2 or a whatever,
or a PS5.
PS5. Anyway, I don't think she's a game console. That's what I'm getting at.
Okay.
So it's kind of a deal killer.
Okay.
Which But so he was saying he's a bit disappointed that was the case. But yeah, talked to your best friend Mike last night. He seems to really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's really fun. I mean, it's probably less fun for him chaperoning me around through puzzles that he's already done.
You are a burden.
Yeah, but there are puzzles that are in the 2-player version that are not in the other versions of the game.
That's cool.
So he played with more people initially. So there was at least one
that's cool.
puzzle that he had not seen before.
That's nice. It's good design.
Well, let me tell you what this puzzle was. And then you can decide if it's good design or not. So it's this puzzle where both of us had to hit a button inside this room. And when we hit it, it closes the door. So we're trapped inside. And there's a timer on the screen that's counting down from 5 minutes. And there's a couch, a chair, and 2 windows so you can look outside. Mm-hmm. But that's it. We couldn't find anything else in the room. What do you think the challenge was?
I don't know.
To sit there for 5 minutes.
Okay, well, I was saying more philosophically, it's a good design choice.
No, I completely agree. It actually is very, very cool. Yeah. And I really like the game, just in general, too. I'm loving the game.
Best sitting simulator ever.
Best sitting simulator, yeah. But, yeah, Big Walk. It's really good. And it's free on PS Plus this month. I thought it was added to the PS Plus game catalog, but it doesn't appear to be. It is one of the monthly games.
Okay.
So, yeah. So go redeem it. The last thing that I played was a listener recommendation from listener Chuck, who suggested that I check out Froggy Hates Snow. And he was telling me about Froggy Hates Snow. And then I was on the PlayStation Store and realized that there was a trial for Froggy Hates Snow.
Okay.
So I downloaded it. It's a 3-hour trial. So plenty of time to play. Very, very accommodating there. This is like a roguelike game. It's like a roguelike survival game. Let me bring up a video. But you play a frog who, as you might expect, dislikes snow.
It's right there in the title.
It's in the title. I also dislike snow. But so what you do here is you, as the frog, must... God.
That's a lot of snow for a frog that dislikes snow.
Who's playing? I know. You're out here in a blizzard, and your home base is like a warm bubble that you can come back to, and you have a little map in the lower right corner of the screen to kind of show you where things are. And you're digging through all of this snow, and occasionally you will uncover gold pieces or jewels of some kind, and you'll put them in your backpack unless you upgrade and get a little wagon, which this player that we're watching has the wagon. And then when you come back to the warm area, you unload all your resources and you can upgrade stuff. So you could buy upgrades to your body strength, you get a bigger cart, a bigger backpack, things like that. Your running speed can change, your dig speed can change. And you uncover, I believe it's randomly generated where everything is, but you can uncover special treasure chests that have even more upgrades. And then every couple minutes, a wave of enemies shows up. And there are 10 waves, at least in the first area, which I have completed. There's 10 waves of enemies. And you, as the frog, have an attack power with your tongue, or you can roll away like you can in Hades or any other
Most
sort of
my attack power is my tongue as well.
You can find keys that open up the treasure chests and things. And your idea is really to try to uncover as much of the environment as you can. You can either fight a boss at the end of the 10 waves, or if you find a door, you can escape with all of your loot and not have to fight the boss. So you're kind of going through and uncovering bits of this level. And there are different biomes as well. I only did the first bit. There is an end to this. I'm not sure exactly how the later levels continue on, but it's kind of a nice, fun, sort of cozy survival game. The
attacking
attacking that you do
right here.
The attacking that you're doing, at least there's two settings. One, you can aim the tongue and attack, and the other is just he'll attack if you stop moving. So I have it set to that. So it's sort of like Vampire Survivors.
I was just going to say, so like Vampire Survivors mode, kind of, maybe?
Kind of, yeah, except you're not attacking constantly as you're moving. And I looked through some of the achievements, and apparently you unlock more animal friends, maybe? Question mark? I don't know.
Also don't like snow?
Yeah. They I imagine also don't like snow. So
that warm bubble looks cozy.
It does, doesn't it? It looks awful cozy. Awful cozy. So I downloaded it on PlayStation. It's also available on Switch and I think on other platforms as well. But since I'm playing it on PlayStation through the trial, I'll probably just I'm not sure if I'll buy it at the end of the trial. I probably will. And I'll play it on the PS Portal. So good recommendation from listener Chuck.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I've been playing.
All right. Well, I am still on my F1 kick because of the trip a few weeks ago. And I've been playing through, like I said, the Codemaster / EA Sports F1 games have had this sort of ongoing soap opera campaign mode called Breaking Point that started in F1 2021 and was continued in 23 and then concluded, seems to have concluded in F1 25. And I finished that this week. I finished that third chapter this week. Yeah. And, I have to say, like, it definitely, I mean, the game's improved, obviously, because it was every second year that we were getting these things. So, I mean, the gameplay itself, I think, kind of improved anyway. But they definitely got better at their storytelling and especially better at not giving away what was about to happen. Because, like, what it'll do is it puts you in, doesn't necessarily put you in full races. You do that every now and then. Like, you're playing through every episode, you're actually playing through 2 seasons, but you don't play like all 24 races in a season. It jumps you around, right? It's like now it's a few weeks later and you're at this track and, kind of, so it mixes up the tracks. You don't have to go through the whole practice and qualifying thing. I think maybe over all 3 chapters, I might have played a full race, a grand total of 4 times. And by full race, I mean, it was still like a 5-lap race or something, but it was like from start to finish. Otherwise, what it likes to do is put you in mid race where it says, this is what's happened so far. And it puts you in a position where you have to overcome something that went wrong, right? Basically, it's like Aiden Jackson is one of the characters. Like, Aiden had trouble off the start and now you're mid pack and you need to get up to like 10th place before lap so-and-so or something like that. Or you have to finish in the top 3 or something, right? Okay. But what used to happen is those like in-race objectives used to really telegraph that something was going to happen. Because what they would love to do too to build the drama is like you get next to a specific driver, especially if it's another character driver in the story, and then it'll like trigger a cutscene where you like have a crash or something like that, or you blow a tire or something. You have to again overcome that, but it used to be really clear. It's like you need to get to Max Verstappen by lap 10. And okay, so as soon as I get close to that, to Max Verstappen, it's going to trigger some kind of cutscene and something's going to happen. But I found with the 3rd chapter that they were a little bit better at that, where they would give you objectives that while you were in the process of completing them, that would trigger a cutscene. So there was kind of like it was kind of like a red herring. Where it's like, the objective is finish on the podium, but like by the time you got to some particular driver in like say 6th place, that would actually trigger a cutscene. It would change all the objectives and you had to overcome the problem, that sort of thing. So, and the other thing that they did that they hadn't done up to that point is in the first 2 chapters, they have you taking on the roles. You're always talking about teammates. So like in the first chapter, it's Aiden Jackson is a character that goes through all 3 chapters. And then Casper Ackerman is like the teammate in the first game. And then, I forget her name, the female character's name. Anyway, but it would like force you into their shoes. So like here's the story when you're playing as Aiden. And then now let's go play as Casper and get a better idea of sort of what he's going through and that sort of thing. And that's how they would tell their story. But in the 3rd chapter, you constantly get to choose between Cal is her name. The two Aiden or Callie. When you go into a different chapter, so it kind of changes the story up a little bit, which is nice. It's a little bit more freedom.
That's cool.
So overall, I was really happy with it. I really enjoyed playing through it. Although it's funny because clearly the story was written before the 2025 season started, and so up until like with the first two chapters, the protagonists / antagonists are each other, right? Like the two stories in the first two chapters are very much like you versus your teammate, and then you play as your teammate and realize, oh, they're not really a bad person, and like that's the whole story, right?
Okay.
But like with the third chapter, the whole idea is that this fictional team that you're racing for, Connor Sport, is in more harmony, or the friction is coming from like management as opposed to the two drivers. So that means that like your rivals on the track are actually like real drivers, right? Like, and they turn the main rival team you have for 2025 into Red Bull, because Red Bull up until the 2025 season had been like dominating. They would win the Constructors Championship. Max Verstappen won 4 championships in a row, et cetera, et cetera. So they started the 2025 season as not really favorites, but favorites enough that that's what they decided. These are going to be your main rivals. So it was Max Verstappen and another driver whose name I am absolutely blanking on. Hang on a second. I'm going to go look him up real quick because it's important. Liam Lawson. Because Liam Lawson was the second driver at Red Bull. But 2025 season was dominated by a completely different team. And Liam Lawson literally lost his ride after his second race. But like, so the game is like, it's kind of jarring playing it this far beyond the 2025 season, because you're constantly battling with Liam Lawson, but he was much further down the grid, and you're constantly battling with Max Verstappen because he's going to win the championship, except he didn't. I mean, he came close, but like, anyway, McLaren was
like an alternate history.
Yeah, exactly. So it was just funny because it's just like, again, as a big fan of Formula One playing through it, it's like, wow, you can really tell that they had to obviously come up with the story before that season actually happened. And no fault of theirs, but they got a few things pretty majorly wrong. But nobody could have guessed that like Liam Lawson would lose his ride after 2 races. That was crazy. But anyway, yeah. So I did like too when you finish it, because for that story mode they did build a whole fictional team, and when you're done, you can go into like the team management mode, and it unlocks Connor Sport, this fictional team, as like the 11th team on the grid. So you can actually take that team with all their livery and all their drivers and everything like that, and take it through your career mode. It's kind of a nice touch.
That's cool.
Yeah. So anyway, I went back because the thing is that it's a 2020. That's to go through the 2025 season. I wanted to play through 26 because there's been major rule changes this season. So I started doing team management for the 2026 mode now.
Cool.
And that's where I am right now on that game. Although I do want to go back too, because it also I hadn't watched the F1 movie up until this point. So I actually watched it today for the first time, because F125 actually has a series of missions that are somehow based on the F1 movie and the team that was in that film. Apex, I think is the name of the team. So I have to go back and try that. And keeping on the racing tip, I also did some iRacing this week.
Nice.
Been threatening to do that for a while. Got an extra monitor to set up in front of my racing rig back there. And I got to go play with some of the Player One podcast racing crew who have been running iRacing events on every other Wednesday night.
Is that instead of your Gran Turismo?
The Gran Turismo series is kind of on hold through the summer.
Okay.
But we will be getting back to it. Cool. But this is what sort of people are doing. Some of the people are doing in the off season. So it was fun to get out there because iRacing is a lot of fun.
Awesome.
But it can be a little bit daunting, obviously. And then after I did that, I went and did a Legends race on an oval, and I had a really, really, really good time.
Cool.
The only other thing that I really played this week, and it was today because I was sitting here sort of doing laundry and everything. I had a lot of downtime through the day, and I remembered that Super Mario Sunshine had been released on NSO recently. So it's like, I'm going to go play some Mario Sunshine because I really enjoyed that game back when it was new. And I'll tell you, man, it's kind of this along the same lines. It's not as bad as the N64 as far as, the N64 was such a weird controller.
Yeah.
That playing N64 games using like the Joy-Cons or using the Pro controller doesn't feel right at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the GameCube kind of suffers from that too, because it's kind of easy to forget how really specialized the GameCube controller was.
Right.
The
triggers.
The trigger and the C button or the C stick, and the trigger is the main one, the whole clicking the trigger thing. Because for those who might not know, like one of the big features of the GameCube controller was that the shoulder buttons were analog, but they also had an extra click at the end. So like you could squeeze them, but then clicking them was actually in Mario Sunshine, it's definitely two different things. Because if you just put some pressure down, Mario would run around and just shoot water out in front of him with flood. But then if you click down, he stands still, and then you have free control over where you're shooting.
Right.
So like with playing this with my 8BitDo controller, it has, 4 shoulder. Actually, it has 6 shoulder buttons, but 4 shoulder buttons. And I mean, as a Pro controller does too. And they've just switched that to be like, if you press the top shoulder button, that's like clicking down that shoulder.
Oh, okay.
And if you press the trigger shoulder, that's like just sort of putting some pressure on the shoulder button. So, but it's still it's jarring, right? Like it's still, because obviously they didn't change any of the in-game instructions because they wouldn't. So it's like you kind of have to make that sort of mental leap when they tell you to do something. It's not exactly what they're telling you to do. And the other thing is, like, I just 20 years has trained me that camera control on the right thumbstick controls horizontal and vertical.
Yeah.
And like, that's absolutely not how Mario Sunshine worked. Right. Like camera control was, first of all, it's on the horizontal axis, it's actually backwards. You push left to rotate the camera right. You're moving the camera around behind Mario, basically.
Oh, okay.
So like you push left and the camera tilts right, pans right. And there's no, as far as I can tell, there's no in-game menu to fix that. It wasn't an option.
Right.
You can go in on NSO and you can go remap controls, which is a very nice touch. On a system level, which is great. But then the other thing is like pushing up doesn't tilt the camera up or down. It zooms the camera in, and tilting down pulls the camera out. It doesn't tilt up or down. Okay. So like when you go to like free aim flood, you have to do it with the left thumbstick. And I just can't wrap my head around it because it's just so counterintuitive to what the last 20 years have taught me to do in a 3D game.
Yeah.
So it makes it a little tough to play the game. And I mean, it's not an NSO problem because it would be tough to play it on a GameCube as well. I think even with a GameCube controller, it would still feel odd because you've still got 20 years of video games, a video game muscle memory, right? So
I wonder if you can change that option, because this was part of the Mario 3D All-Stars collection, right?
Right.
And so,
which I was talking about with a friend of mine who didn't own a Switch, but he bought a Switch 2, and he's really been sort of making up for lost time because I don't think he owned a Wii either.
Oh,
and he definitely didn't own a Wii U. So like he has like a couple of, or at least a decade of sort of, Nintendo first party games that he hasn't played.
Oh, okay.
So he's really done
good stuff.
A lot of work catching up with the Marios. But he was sort of complaining about that Mario 3D collection because it was limited time release.
Well, it's not available anymore. Right?
So dumb. And I was thinking though, like
but you
2
can
of
buy
the 3 games that were on that
games.
set are already on NSO. So, right? Because Sunshine and 64 are both on NSO.
64 wasn't part of it.
Oh, I thought 64 was part of that collection.
I don't think so. I think it's just Galaxy 1 and 2. No, wait.
Okay.
Shit, maybe Mario 64 is part of that.
I thought it was.
I think you're right. Actually.
I'm usually right. I might be wrong, but I'm usually right.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, it's just sort of was messing around with it because I love the way Mario Sunshine looks. I love the sort of the sun drenched.
I know people don't like it, but
I can see people not liking the mechanics because it is weird. It's weird for a Mario game. To have basically, I mean, I know you're shooting water, but basically like a weapon.
Yeah.
That is such a big part of the game. But it's such a nice looking game.
It is. Yeah.
So yeah.
I remember when the first screenshots came in before E3, actually. This was at a time when magazines would get E3 stuff even before the show. And I remember looking at the screenshots and just thinking, wow, this looks really good.
Nintendo was going for it on the GameCube. As far as their, the look of some of their main franchises, because I mean, that was the Wind Waker year too, right?
Was it, or wasn't
Wind Waker on GameCube? Yeah, Wind Waker was on Game. Sorry, not year, but that was the console.
Yeah,
Wind Waker was on that console. So,
yes,
yep. Anyway, that's cool. What I've been playing this week.
All righty, I guess that means it's time to head to Blue Skies.
I wanna fly sky high. That's it. That's all you get.
Okay, I like how you didn't want to sing in front of Carly.
Yeah. I only feel comfortable in front of you.
Okay.
Same thing with being naked in a locker room.
What about all of our listeners?
Yeah, but they're not sitting right in front of me.
Well, I guess that's true.
I mean, you're not physically either, I guess, but you get it. You understand. Right.
Well, we have an email from listeners.
People still send emails?
I know, right?
Wow.
player1podcast@gmail.com, all spelled out. No digits. So player1podcast@gmail.com. If you want to do that, or you can go to player1podcast.com where our contact information can be found. All right. Josh has written us an email and I shall read it now. Longtime fan, actually started listening to y'all on Back in My Play. Didn't even know you three had a show. Wow.
It's only two of us now.
I know. Love the Sega Saturn and listen to Greg's episodes, Saturn 101 and 201, probably more than any other podcast I've listened to. I guess, Greg's dismay, I'm a Greg Seward fanboy. All right. Anywho, I bought Splatoon Raiders mainly due to Nintendo's severe lack of current first-party games and CJ's gushing and good reviews. I've never played Splatoon. I do not play any multiplayer games. I played a couple hours of Raiders. I thought I might like it. I didn't know I would react like this. Man, I love this game. This thing has the intangible Nintendo magic splattered all over it. I love an island setting. It is making me think about Wind Waker, which is making me happy. All the mechanics and customizations are many without becoming too overwhelming. The short get in, get out is great for small dose gaming, which since I have a kid, my son is 11 now, so I'm kind of emerging from being totally locked down by fatherhood and having zero time to game. It's the way I prefer it. Sharp controls, smooth graphics, and imaginative Nintendo style, at least a 9 out of 10, if not a straight up 10.
Damn.
Thanks, CJ. And thanks, Greg, my fellow resident curmudgeon. You were still the OG to me. I love Sega, especially the Saturn. Cheers and thanks for always being there for me. It's hard to get up and go at the beginning of the week. I know on Tuesday morning I'll get to hear from y'all.
Aw.
All right.
Well, you're welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Josh.
I love that you gave this CJ to read just to rub it in that I didn't like the game.
Exactly. I'm glad to hear that you're loving Splatoon Raiders. And even more so that you've never played a Splatoon game and you're liking it. I'm glad to hear that. The single player campaigns of Splatoon 2 and 3 are also very good.
There you go.
If you want to try that. And actually the multiplayer in those are, good enough because you don't have microphones, so nobody can tell you how much you suck at the game, which is why I enjoy it. Quite frankly. Is that wrong to say?
Not wrong to say at all.
No, not wrong to say at all. All right, let's do this one From listener Jonathan, who says Long Island Retro Gaming Expo was this weekend. Well, it's like 2 weekends ago now. Mm-hmm. What rare / expensive / elaborate setup do you like playing at cons but wouldn't get for home? Example, the Sharp X68000, the TVs with consoles built in, Steel Battalion, etc. I love the Steel Battalion room that they have at PAX. They just have Steel Battalion set up in the line.
And I actually own the Steel Battalion controller, but I've never set mine up.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Yeah, I never got that controller.
Yeah. I wonder if mine would even work at this point. I don't know. I'm trying to think of that. Like, for me, it's more about what was the name of that wasn't the Konix multi-system. Was it the Bally Arcade, maybe? Remember the system that was like a pyramid, and it had like a light gun on one side, and it had a steering wheel on the other side. It had something else on the other side, and the cartridges were literally little triangles that you plugged into the top. Anyway, when I went to Long Island Gaming
Astrocade,
Bally Astrocade. When I went to Long Island Gaming Retro a couple of years ago, because I was on a panel with G to the Next Level.
Yep.
And it was super nice, by the way. They had one set up, and I'd seen them in magazines and seen pictures of those forever, but I didn't know anyone who had one, and I wasn't interested enough to I collect stuff a little bit, but like the stuff that I collect tends to be things that I owned.
Right.
And I never owned one of these. And so it was kind of neat to experience it, because it was literally like the controllers were like on the system. So you would turn it around to the different sides to play the different games.
Right. That's cool.
It was cool as in, wow, I'm glad I did that. I don't know that I would, it would be an interesting, if you had a game collection, like a retro game room, it would be an interesting conversation piece.
Totally.
But it doesn't really fit the question, but I can't really think of,
Yeah, I probably would. My thing for that would probably be like a Vectrex, because I never owned it. I never even heard of the Vectrex.
I had a friend who owned a Vectrex.
So that would be kind of neat to try.
I wouldn't mind having space for, like we used to, you and I back in the day, for DDR, a semi-permanent DDR setup. Because I used to love playing DDR.
When I went to the retro game show in Pasadena, they had a bunch of like arcade game setups, and DDR was one of them, of course. I didn't play because now I'm
old,
25, 30 years older than I was back when I was playing DDR.
To play.
I don't know if it is. Yeah,
it's good for weight loss.
Well, I do need to do that, probably.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But that's all I can really think of.
Yeah.
Or like Neo Geo games. I love playing Neo Geo games, like with a Neo Geo arcade stick. Like
that was a holy grail for a while. I have a Neo Geo X before they were taken off the market, and the arcade stick that came with that was pretty good. And I think it was full size. So mostly I just learned that I still suck at fighting games even with an arcade stick. So
yeah,
there
is that.
I always wanted one. They were always the rental store that I used to go hang out in. They had one on demo a lot. So I've played a fair amount of Neo Geo stuff while I was standing in the store. That's about it.
All right, let's do this one. I think this is going to be where we wrap.
Wrap.
I mean, we don't have to wrap.
Rappity rap.
This is the last question.
Good, because I'm not ready to spit any bars.
Okay, good. From KSO, who says, imagine the perfect timeline in which Rhythm Heaven Groove wins Game of the Year at the Game Awards. Which Muppet would be the best presenter for such a deserving achievement?
I mean, it would have to be, what was the name of the Muppet Show's band?
Yes.
Oh, God. What was the name of the band? Animal was the drummer.
The Electric Mayhem. Dr.
The Electric Mayhem.
Yeah, I think they'd be great for sure.
Yeah.
That was where my mind went as well. It would be perfect, Dr. Teeth.
Something came up on my feed. I don't know which Muppet movie this was part of. It was one that I saw where what's the name? The Electric Mayhem.
Yeah.
They're driving in like a minivan or something like that, and they've all got collars on.
Okay.
It all hurt their necks, and they're listening to the radio. A Master of Puppets comes on, and they can't help but rock out and headbang. So by the end of it, they're all headbanging, but they say "ow." They're going "ow, ow, ow."
They had a series on Disney Plus. Just
maybe that's where it's from.
Maybe that's where it's from. Yeah.
God, I love the Muppets.
Me too. I don't mind that Jeff Keighley has adopted them as the Game Awards stuff. I think that's fun,
especially with Disney World shutting down the Muppet Theater.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I was thinking either the Electric Mayhem or Beaker and Vincent Honeydew or Dr. Honeydew. Just because they're great.
Yeah. Just because they're great
they
characters.
can fit into a rhythm, heaven, groove style thing for sure.
Right? Every now and then I get it in my mind that I want to go watch the Muppet Show. I think it's on Disney Plus.
It is on Disney Plus. Did you watch the new episode that they did?
No.
I think it came out in February with Sabrina Carpenter. It's really good.
Yeah.
It is really good. Yeah.
I remember watching the Muppet Show every week.
Same.
I think there were reruns by then, but
I think they were reruns too.
But
I was watching it.
I still remember like Mark Hamill on there as Luke Skywalker. Like Mark Hamill wasn't the guest. Luke Skywalker was the guest.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So it was definitely a rerun because that would have been like 78.
Well, I used to have the seasons on DVD, but now they're on Disney Plus. So I should just watch them on Disney Plus.
I might go watch one of those tonight before I go to bed.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I think that's a show.
That's a show.
Done.
Good comeback show, CJ.
Yeah. Thank you. Oh, wait. Comeback from what?
From your vacation. I
was only gone 1 week. I know. Have a comeback show.
But I mean, I got to say, our guest was better than you. So,
I mean, that's true.
You had a strong showing this week, is what I'm saying.
Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us, or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1Podcast on the Blue Skies, or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. It's new, and our contact information is there. We got bonus episodes, after shows, all the things that you could want, plus show notes and links to everything that we talked about in this episode and most episodes of the podcast, dating back to, I don't know when I started doing pretty accurate show notes, at least 10 years, something like that. And of course, at our website, you can find a link to our Discord server where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you would like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by loading up your favorite podcast listening app. We're also on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch video archives of our show on youtube.com/P1Podcast, or you can watch us live most weeks on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. Just follow our Blue Sky account to find out when we're doing our next live show, typically every Sunday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Atlantic, 10 p.m. Newfoundland time, and the rest of you are on your own.
If you want to get technical about it, sure.
Please join us, listen, and if you like what you heard, and how could you can head over to patreon.com/P1Podcast, throw a few shekels our way, helps us keep the lights on, helps CJ take family vacations, clearly.
No, it doesn't.
No,
I don't tap into that for.
But I mean, the money you're not spending on the bills for the show.
Well, that's true. I suppose that.
So we're not misappropriating funds.
No,
just saying that it frees up our personal money for the stuff that we, do with our kids.
Yes.
I don't know why not. If you're a subscriber of the $5 tier,
cheap,
you gain special access to an almost weekly bonus episode. We record it live after this. We play games, crack wise, do all the stuff we can't do on the regular show. CJ,
yes.
Do we have an after show this week?
We do.
Yay!
Of course we do.
Got any preview? Got a tidbit? What's it about?
This one is from Hacker Alias Phallic Metaphor.
Again.
And it's all about the Xbox 360.
Ooh, which is pretty retro now.
Yeah, it's more than 10 years old.
Does that make you feel old?
Yes.
Is that a system that came out when you were in your late 20s? Is retro?
Yeah.
CJ was always the baby of the games journalism industry.
Look, I see people on dating apps who weren't alive in the 2000s. So
that's because you need to fix your filters,
weren't alive
my friend.
in the 90s then.
You need to fix your filters.
I do need to fix
that
my
makes
filters.
you a dirty
That's
old man.
True.
Yeah.
That is true. Because I'm going to swipe left on anyone who's under 30, definitely. Probably under 35. Yeah.
Well, that's great. Everything you just said is great. If you have a few bucks left over, please consider supporting me on patreon.com/Greg Stewart. $3 a month.
Also cheap.
Gets you early access to all of my videos if and when I ever complete one.
Yes. You will. You will.
I'm getting there. There's a bunch of them that are getting close. CJ.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
It's good to be back.
Thanks for hosting this week.
No problem. Thanks for joining me this week.
My pleasure.
Yes.
And thank you, dear listeners, for tuning in. We love you. We're so glad you're here. Really appreciate your support, and we'll talk with y'all again next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.